Quick shout out to my Jonin Ninja members Radium TX and Paling Tan, and my Chunin Ninja members Raygun 972, Wakan Yosai, Rage 1, Scorpion King 3, Meat Salad, and Soul Galaxia. Hello, Star Citizens, and welcome to the Argo Astronautics A.T.L.S. ship sale video. Yeah, let's figure out how much this thing cost and whether we should actually buy it or not. But of course, shout out to the members, and make sure if you want to win a ship, which still don't know what that's going to be, probably give it about 5 days and we'll be able to announce what the ship is going to be. But yeah, make sure you like, dislike, leave a comment, and make sure you're subscribed if you want to be entered to win that ship. And obviously, if you are a member, you are already entered automatically to share that 25% chance of winning. To increase your chances, you can also like, leave a comment, and all that stuff. So, you know, hey, increase your chances all you want. But yeah, it's time to talk about this Argo A.T.L.S. I wasn't sure if they would sell it, but I was kind of sure they would sell it. Like, it would have made no sense for them to have this and not sell it. I just didn't know whether it would be I didn't know if it would be like something you can upgrade to a ship from, or if it was just going to be available. So I might buy the skins for it, but I don't think that I'm going to buy it with real money. My guess for this is that the insurance on it is going to be very low, so it'll probably be fairly easy to claim in game. So yeah, we'll see. Let's look at this thing. Argo Astronautics A.T.L.S. Tackle big jobs. And then they got the commercial for it. Obviously going for the Ripley from Alien vibe. It can lift up to 32 SCU containers. So 64 SCU, it's not going to happen. Well, at least not right now. And then you can see it kind of doing it there. Yeah, it's pretty cool there. Let's see. What is this? Oh, this isn't a thing. All right. So I guess we're going straight into the skins here. Let's see what it's got. The all black, of course. Then it's got the shiny. Then it's got the yellow, high visibility. That's probably what, if you're not going to go orange, you probably should go yellow. It depends. If you're going to be around a bunch of other moving parts. And then the blue. And this one's only available to members of the Chairman's Club. So the rest are available to everyone. So if you're looking at this and you're like, why can't I get the blue? That's why. So the orange, it comes with the orange. You can get the black, the kind of silver here, or the lion heart, which is the yellow. Those are available to everyone, but you can look down here and this says this paint is exclusively available to members of the Chairman's Club. So if you're wondering why you can't get the blue, that's why. You know, on one hand, I'm like, it's cool that Chairman's Club people get, you know, exclusive things, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like it's a little wrong almost. I don't know. I mean, anybody can join the Chairman's Club, but I feel like not everybody can join the Chairman's Club. So anytime something is excluded, makes me feel a little bit of a way. All right, but let's see. Speaking of Chairman's Club, here's the Chairman's Club offer. So it looks like the price of this thing is $35. It's a little expensive. I think I probably would have went 25. Yeah, I would have went 25. I think 35 is a little high. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like 35 is a little high. Then it said, so it's $5 for the monsoon paint. Is this giftable? I wonder if this is giftable. It's not going to tell me. Okay, so that's pretty much it. You can buy the 4 paint pack for a little bit less than $15. The monsoon paint is $5 on its own. Then yeah, war bond is 35, credit is 40. And oh, here you go. You can buy each paint separately. Um, I'm gonna say, oh, and the 3 paint pack is $11. I'm, I think for me, I'm gonna say that the 4 paint pack and the 3 paint pack. Let me see. Yeah, for me, I want the paints for it, but I don't want to purchase it. I'm not spending 35 bucks on this thing. I'm trying to figure out what in my mind, like what am I gonna use it for that's gonna make it so amazing that I spent 35 bucks on it, and I can't think of anything. Um, I don't know where it's gonna be sold at in game, but this thing has got to be sold in game. So I get it. There's gonna be people who are like, I need a mech. I've always wanted a mech. That's the whole reason I play Star Citizen is 'cause I was waiting on a mech. But I'm gonna say to those people, you probably shouldn't buy this. The people who should buy this are the people who are like collecting ships and things like that, like Pokemon cards at this point. I think that's really who should purchase this. Everybody else, I think, should get it in game. Now, if they were to come out and say these will not be available in game or something crazy like that, you know, that would be different. But I seriously doubt that's gonna happen. And for 35 bucks, you could get vehicles that are more useful, I think. But this thing has utility. I'm not trying to say it's useless. It obviously can load your ship faster, and this is a cargo patch. But I don't see me using this much more than I'm using the rifle. Right now, they're probably gonna lower the abilities of the rifle and slowly increase the abilities of this. So at some point, it will make sense to get these, but why do I need LTI on it? I'm not fighting in it. I guess I'm thinking like, why do I need so much insurance on this? Because I'm not fighting in it. It's mostly only going to be used in my hangar. I suppose you can go places with it. I mean, if you're at an outpost with it, it could get damaged. Maybe if you're handling like cargo that's really difficult to handle or like really explosive, then I could see that being an issue maybe where, you know, some cargo explodes and then damages the suit. But again, I don't see me needing to use this. I don't see the need to use it. Like, you can use it. It will increase your ability to put cargo on the ship, right? But I don't think it's necessary. You can, it's a nice to have, not a necessary, if that makes sense. And because of that, I can't see myself spending real money on it. But they're going to make a lot of money from this. Do not be fooled. A lot of people are going to buy this, and a lot of people are going to buy all the skins because it's the first mech. The only reason I kind of want it, and this is just something in general, I want to buy it because I feel like I miss out on rare things sometime, and I don't want this to become one of those rare things. So what I feel like I'll end up doing is purchasing this with all the paints and then melting it into my buyback. Let's see. I don't think it comes with all the paints. So you can only get this and the monsoon paint. So you can kind of get the monsoon paint for free. And yeah, I wish it came with all the paints, like a everything, get everything kind of thing, but it doesn't. So that's the only thing is like, I hate when I don't do certain things like this and then I miss it. I feel like the other paints will be available, so I feel like if I was done to get it, I would just go ahead and get the A.T.L.S plus the monsoon paint and then melt it back into my buyback. But I have so many credits right now that it's like I'm putting $35 into this game, and I guess I'm doing it to secure the FOMO, right? That's what I would be doing. Like I'm fearing that this will eventually go and be a rare thing. So is my FOMO worth $35 is the real question. But we won't answer that today. All right, so let's go over the Q&A before we head out here. There's a lot of questions on here, so we're gonna go pretty fast. So I'll just ask the question and read through it. And of course, if you want to go and read this stuff yourself, just skip. The video is pretty much already over, but I'm just gonna read this for the people who don't want to go in and read it. And I'll talk about it and give my thoughts about it as well. So yeah, let's get into it. So, does the A.T.L.S provide any environmental protection? No. However, this isn't the long-term intent, which is the case for all vehicles. There's no restrictions on what you can wear in the pilot seat, but that isn't the long-term intent. So yeah, you got to wear stuff to keep you out of the elements, but you won't be able to wear everything in that seat in the long term. So just don't think of this as environmentally protecting. Does the A.T.L.S provide any armor for my character, or does it influence my hitbox? So would a bullet to the chest count as damage against the A.T.L.S? For its initial release, the A.T.L.S is invulnerable, but any bullets that hit the player will deal the same damage as they usually would. But in the future, it'll have damage, visual damage effects, destruction, and all that. So it won't be invulnerable forever. So don't get hit. Does the A.T.L.S come with any storage? No. Is the A.T.L.S equipped with bright headlights to enable me to work at night, or any rotating flashing lights for safety and extra individual vibe? For the initial release, no. The torch on your helmet will be the only artificial light source. However, we intend to add lights to the A.T.L.S in a future update, so not yet is your answer. Are there any exchangeable vehicle components, power generator, tractor beams to customize the A.T.L.S? Paints are supported, but vehicle components and the tractor beam are not customizable for the initial release. We have plans to update the A.T.L.S to make use of the resource network feature, like adding a battery that needs to be physically swapped out to replace it. So, exchangeable vehicle components? No. However, there will be at the very least a battery in the future, but it does not currently have that. How fast does it move? Will it increase my max running speed? No, it's a relatively slow mech. When walking, it roughly matches a player's fast walk. When sprinting, the A.T.L.S is between a player's fast walk and slow run speed. So it is actually slower to run around in the mech than it is to actually run in your run speed. The initial power suit is designed to traverse hangars and move cargo, not rush into combat or explore the wilderness. So I'm assuming that they will come out with one that's more built for that. So like they said, this is to traverse hangars and move cargo. So if you planned on trying to do anything else with it, it's not gonna be built for that. So, you know, it doesn't look like it would be too crazy for them to have a version of this that can just run faster without the tractor beam, and maybe with like 2 weapons on it instead of, you know, the tractor beams or something like that, 2 laser beams or something. I don't know. But I'm just saying, it doesn't seem like this. I think the versions of this that come out will be fairly simple, fairly easy to get, right? Like it's easy to create is what I mean, not easy to get. Continuing on. Can it jump, and does it reduce my fall damage? It cannot jump, given its role. This may or may not change in future iterations, but future power suits with more combat or exploration-oriented roles may support jumping. No fall damage is taken currently due to it being invulnerable, unless you somehow hit a rock with your exposed head while falling. So, it is invulnerable. That won't last for long, but that's the way they're doing it right now. But in the future, it will not reduce your fall damage. How does it behave in EVA? It has no EVA movement capability. While in 0G, the A.T.L.S can only be exited and not entered. That's a little weird, but whatever. It doesn't have EVA capability. That's the big part of that. Does the A.T.L.S tractor beam gameplay mechanic differ from the handheld tractor beam device? Yes. As a dedicated cargo loader, the tractor beam automatically moves its target adjacent to its user, making it easier to view the surroundings. A destination preview hologram is then displayed in the environment where the user aims, with color coding indicating a cargo grid or surface placement. The tractor beam's target is moved to the hologram's location automatically when the fire button is pressed. This provides faster cargo movement and faster cargo grid selection, plus snapping from greater distances. A secondary fire mode, using the mouse 2 button, allows the tractor beam's target to be thrown instead of placed. A charge functionality increases the throw strength the longer the input is held. When targeting ships or ground vehicles, the typical tractor beam functionality is employed instead to allow smaller upturned vehicles to be rotated and set down. So yes, this can be used to overturn a vehicle but not lift a vehicle and toss it. So if you were planning on, tossing your vehicles around, you won't be able to do that. You can flip them over though. So very cool, because it does mean that it is indeed better than a handheld tractor device. So if you were thinking, why wouldn't I just use my handheld tractor device? There's your answer right there. It is better than that. However, I guess I'll give my opinion at the end. Can I injure another player with the A.T.L.S. by hitting, ramming, or falling on them? Can I kill my enemies or hurt others by hurling cargo containers at them? The A.T.L.S. does not move fast enough to cause damage. If you do manage to fall on top of someone, it can be enough to kill them in normal gravity. However, this takes some doing, possibly involving a hovering ship and a lowered ramp. Hurling cargo containers at others is not advised, and it can lead to any number of injuries or even death. So yes, you can hurl a cargo container. However, I just read in a patch that you won't be able to do much damage with those. I think they even took some of the I think they took all of the damage away. So somebody, you test that out in the comments and let me know if you can still do that, because I thought the patch said that no more throwable damage on things that are being held with a tractor beam. But that could just be in the PTU. So if you're checking it, check in the PTU. Can I attack someone with my FPS firearms? No. Can several A.T.L.S. pilots team up and move heavier objects? Due to the nature of the new cargo loading tractor beam, combined efforts are not possible for moving cargo boxes, but targeting ships and vehicles will combine the forces of multiple beams. So, ships and vehicles, it looks like you can team up to move. I don't know what that's going to consist of. I haven't tested it yet, but if you have, let me know in the comments. Does the suit count as a vehicle, and can I request an insurance claim at an ASOP terminal if it is destroyed? The A.T.L.S. can be retrieved at an ASOP terminal if abandoned or otherwise lost. In future iterations, when the A.T.L.S. is no longer invulnerable, insurance claims will be possible for a destroyed A.T.L.S. Does not answer the question of does it count as a vehicle. It just says that it can be claimed when it is no longer invulnerable. When piloting an A.T.L.S., can I use passenger elevators, stroll through landing zones, or use public transportation to leave a spaceport? No, the A.T.L.S. does not fit inside elevators, so you will need to transport them via ship interiors to any location you wish to use them, and providing your ship is large enough. Hangars and freight elevators are their preferred environment. Can I spawn my A.T.L.S. in a party member's hangar? Doing so is tied into allowing ground vehicles to be spawned via freight elevators. This is planned and being worked on, but currently you cannot do it. Assuming the A.T.L.S. becomes important to a cargo hauler's day-to-day life, how do I transport it from A to B if I don't have a vehicle with an onboard garage or an internal cargo area? If the A.T.L.S. fits inside your ship, you can walk it inside and exit, leaving it on your ship's interior. Otherwise, you need a larger ship. So yeah, you can't move it if you don't have a ship large enough to move it. That's basic. Can I lift the A.T.L.S. with a handheld tractor beam, a ship tractor beam, or another A.T.L.S.? Yes, there are some issues with that, but it does function. Does A.T.L.S. use batteries or fuel? For its initial release, it does not require either, but they will have a replaceable battery in the future. There have been recent balance changes to the multi-tool and dedicated tractor beams. With the launch of the A.T.L.S. and its new tractor beam type, is the current balance for these tractor beams representative of the game moving forward, or do you have other changes planned? So, for the multi-tool, in Alpha 3.24.1, the max SCU will be 16. For future support for cooperative beams, the max SCU for one beam will be 8. The max SCU for two beams will be 16. So for now, it is 16, but in the future, it'll be 8 with one beam and 16 with two beams. For now, as far as the dedicated tractor beam, not using the multi-tool, your max will be 32. For now. In the future, your max will be 16, and then your max SCU for two beams will be 32. And then for the A.T.L.S., it'll be 32 for the max, and that's just one beam, 32. It doesn't say that they can do anything with two beams, so maybe 64 SCU containers are not actually going to be a thing. But what we do know is that a 32 SCU container is a 32 SCU container can be moved by the A.T.L.S. and it will always be able to move that with the A.T.L.S. So if you're thinking, hey, I'm just going to run around with my dedicated tractor beam and I'm going to move these things around, in the future you will not be able to do that because the max on those things will be 16. So, and that's what I thought. I thought they had already implemented that, but it looks like they were waiting until the A.T.L.S was fully in game to implement that. But so I'm guessing 3.2, 4.2, you're gonna have to need an A.T.L.S in order to move stuff. So I guess that does make this a little bit more useful. Unless you got two people moving stuff, you're gonna need an A.T.L.S to move those 32, those heavy cargo joints. So maybe it is a little bit more useful than I thought, but again, I want to make sure that I can purchase this in game before I make any decisions. The A.T.L.S introduces a new type of tractor beam. Will ships be able to make use of it? In future releases, we intend to introduce additional ship tractor beams of existing sizes with the new functionality. This will allow players to customize their ship loadouts with the type of tractor beam they prefer to use. And that is everything. That is all our questions. This thing looks amazing as far as its utility in game. But at that price, you tell me what you want to do with it. So yeah, very interesting indeed. I think if you want my final opinion on it, I think it's a skip. I think if you are going to buy it, purchase it and then melt it into your buyback. I wouldn't keep credits spent on this thing. If in the future it becomes super useful, you can always get it out of your buyback. And yeah, that's my suggestion if you really want it, to do that. Otherwise, it's like I said, it's a nice to have, not a must have. Yeah, and I feel like most people can go without it, but again, it gives you a certain vibe in the game that I think is very unique. So there you have it, $35, the Argo A.T.L.S, or I'm gonna just call it A.T.L.S because I'm tired of saying A.T.L.S. It's the Argo A.T.L.S. But it's got to be 4 letters because it's Argo. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Thanks for spending your time with us. I appreciate you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.